Hello, thank you so much for joining me for this session to launch your agent website. Today, we are going to be providing you with a Moxie websites overview, and I'm going to be giving you step-by-steps on how to set up your agent website and make sure that it is launched. Before I dive into the content, I do want to display a couple of these important reminders. Do remember that these courses are optional and we are providing you with some best practices. If you decide that you want to implement any of these best practices, do make sure that you are communicating with your branch leadership, either your broker or managing office manager, to be able to ensure that you are compliant with some different legal considerations, including the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, or TCPA, and you want to make sure that you are following all TCPA guidelines. If you are reaching out and externally contacting a client, do make sure that you do search for them using the Do Not Contact tool available on CB Desk. Just click on the Do Not Contact tile and be able to check the number through the Do Not Contact list. You can search by either single records or multiple records at a time. Fortunately, our Moxie websites will mostly be making it so that we can generate new leads and have clients or contacts contact us. So our Moxie websites are going to provide affiliated agents with a personal business website. This is going to be available to showcase your listings, business information, contact details, resources, testimonials, and a blog. But also it's so much more, and these websites are going to be very fully customizable. I'm just going to be providing you with a quick introduction and an overview of how to set up this site, but I do truly recommend taking things a step further, and you can really build out and optimize these websites. A couple key features are going to be, as I mentioned, a fully customizable website, the strength of Coldwell Banker branding, a responsive interface, MLS integration, and some really powerful search engine optimization. Your website is one of your most powerful digital marketing tools, and it's basically a 24-hour marketing assistant that's going to be constantly working for you. In this session, we are going to be showing you the initial setup, personalizing your homepage, creating and using property lists, as well as the final site activation. But without further ado, we're going to get started with our live demo. To get started, we're going to go to mycbdesk.com and log on with our desk credentials. Once I am logged on to the CB Desk, I'm just going to find our Moxie Works tile. Once I'm logged into Moxie Works, I'm going to click on where it says My Website. The website is just one of our many powerful tools in the Moxie Works marketing suite of products. If this is your first time launching your Moxie website, you are going to be led to the new website creation tool. This is going to set up your website in just a couple easy steps. Step one is going to be choosing the site type that we want to create. Our options will be either an agent website or an agent team website. This is just going to be if you are a single individually licensed agent operating by yourself, or if you are a team lead or possibly an agent couple team, or maybe an agent trio that's working, you'd select the agent team website. Most of the time, agents are going to have the individual agent website, so I'm going to leave that checked. Step two is going to be checking if your .cbmoxie.com subdomain is available. So this is going to be a full domain URL that's going to appear in the format seen here. So this one's jdo.sites.cbmoxie.com. This won't be changed, so you can't change this once we make the selection. It's going to be something that you want in lowercase a to z, numbers 0 to 9, or dashes in your subdomain. We don't want to include a www or .com extension, so you're just entering just the words here. However, if we have a custom domain, so the example here again is given www.jdo.com, we will be able to add that personal, or sometimes referred to as a vanity domain, later after we get through this. So if you already own a different domain or purchase something through GoDaddy, Google website domains, or another similar source, we are going to be able to add that in at another time, which is called mapping your domain. I'm going to show you some of those highlights in a little bit later. But just to get us started, we are going to be able to just enter in a name here. So for me, I'm just going to enter in my first name, last name, and then to check to see if that's okay. All right, so I already used that one. So once you find one that's going to be not used, so maybe I'm going to do first name, middle initial. That's going to be accepted, and then I just hit submit and activate my site from there. Now that we're in our website, you're going to see Welcome to the Agent Website Admin Tool. So this entire section is what is often referred to as the admin side or the back end of your website. This is going to be where you want to go anytime you make any changes, customizations, or personalizations to your agent website. Now, there's a few key things that I'm going to show right away that are going to be helpful anytime you're working on your site. Up in the top left is the button that says Visit Site, and this is how you're going to be able to click to view the external view of your website. So if I click on Visit Site, it is going to open my website in a new location. So I've already done the effort of a couple different customizations on my website, and I'm going to show you how you can do things like changing the background photo, changing this welcome text, even adding things like a custom video or custom text options. Also on this agent website admin tool, right now we are on this home section. It's home because this is going to be where it takes you every single time you log on. But there is going to be some great information and useful steps to take just from this homepage alone. So some of those common steps are going to include things like personalizing your site style, personalizing your homepage, which is where I'm going to go to next, customize your default search area, and so on. We're also going to be exploring completing your site activation, showing you how to make your sites visible to search engines and how to set up a vanity domain. But let's get started with setting up your personalizing your homepage. So we can either click Go There from this common task, or you can also click the homepage option here on the left-hand side, which is what I'm going to do. So again, I'm just here in the homepage option, and we're going to be able to have a few different options that are available to us. Once again, this is going to be one of our default home pages, and if I click on the Appearance tab right here, you'll see I have the option for Search Focused or Agent Focused. I also have a third option for Custom, but the custom home pages are a little bit more of an advanced step than this kind of introductory overview, so we'll save that for some of our other Moxie classes. Back in the homepage tab here, I have a few different options. So I can change my homepage title if I want to change the site title. I'm just going to leave mine as home right now, but you can definitely change what it would say as this title up here. Next is going to be our background image. So you're going to have most likely the default background image, which is going to be a kind of white house with a Coldwell Banker sign. Since I'm in our Central Florida area, I have a lovely little skyline of Orlando. But if I wanted to change this, I would just click Upload or choose an image. We're going to then have a few different options. I can select to choose an image from my computer, from this image gallery. So this image gallery is going to be an entire library of already uploaded photos that you can select and choose from. There's a good variety of different locations, interior and exterior, for you to choose from. If I decide to upload something from my computer, you do just want to confirm that you either own the copyright to this photo, i.e. you took the photo yourself, or you have written permission from the copyright owner to use this photo for commercial purposes as required by the terms of use in Moxie. You can also use explicit royalty-free images, or if you're using some stock imagery from Marketing Center through our CV desk, that is definitely okay for you to use. Or sometimes agents will use their own listing photography if they have the permission from the photographer. So once I upload my photo, I can select my text color. So again, this is going to be the color that overlays the photo, and this can be either in black or white. I can also add a background effect that's going to either darken or lighten or keep the original photo. So in my example, I decided to darken my photo a little bit just to make that white text pop out. And sometimes you could do the reverse. If you have dark text, the black text, you might want to lighten the photo to make sure that that text stands out. Next up is going to be the headline. This is going to show your simple custom text that's going to feature above this search section here. The default text is "Find your dream home," but you are welcome to alter that if you have any specific sort of phrase or tagline that you want to include. Next up is going to be the search bar text. So if I click on my site, you can see that my name shows up as the search bar text. And I can always change that. And I can also alter this field marketing specialist and change my title if needed to fit whatever is going to fit up in the search bar. Within the profile settings, you can see I can choose and change my headshot image or change a few of my contact details. Once again, this does show here live on the site. And one thing I will point out is things like the phone numbers and the email addresses will automatically get linked so that if someone's scrolling on their phone, they could click that to make the phone call right away or open this to send you an email directly from their browser. So the welcome text is going to appear in this area to the right of your contact information and headshot. This is going to either be blank as a default, or you can add things like this text. One thing you can also add in this welcome text section is going to be image graphics or even embed videos. So to do that, I can either click Add Media, which is going to allow me to upload my own media files. The other thing I can do is embed a video. In order to do this, I can go Insert, Edit Media, and paste in a video link. For example, if I wanted to put in our Coldwell Banker Dream video, I would click on the video, go to the share option and copy the link. Then I'm going to come back to my Moxie site and paste in the link here into this source section and hit OK. It is then going to embed my video into my welcome text section. So anytime that I add or make any changes to my site, I am going to want to make sure that I come down and hit publish. Then I can go to my site either by typing the domain directly or clicking visit site, refresh, and I'll be able to see those changes. So you can see my video and my text has been embedded in this welcome text section. The next area that I can edit is going to be the featured properties module. So this is going to show a selection of featured properties. It does automatically default to the highest price point listings in your office's active listings section. So you can change the title that floats above the featured property section, And also from this drop-down menu, you can change and select a different property list. So you can just select either to showcase your active listings, sold listings. I'll show you how to do a featured properties list, offices active listings, companies active listings, or companies sold listings. You can even select the number of properties you want to display. That is anywhere less than or equal to 100. So that's going to be the number of properties that they can click through. Additionally, we do have a custom search module. So I did have a custom title here. This isn't going to show up as a default. We do have to create a custom search. But that is going to give you the opportunity to create a custom search area. So I chose Lake Mary, Florida, and we'll highlight and show listings specific to that custom area. Please note that these are going to show listings specific to your designated MLS or the MLS for that area, and it could be from other realtor brokerages outside of Coldwell Banker. The next section is going to be a blog module, a great addition to your Moxie website, and especially to increase search engine optimization as well as traffic to your site is going to be using a blog. While I'm not going to be talking about how to create blogs in this video, it is going to be an option here on the homepage where you can have blogs featured, and you can also feature different types of blog categories if you so created them. This again is going to showcase here on the page just under our featured listings and custom search listings. The last area that we can update on our homepage is going to be a featured videos section, which will feature somewhere on over here. If you don't have the blog set up, it will take up the entirety of the bottom. I realized I just skipped over links module, so I'm going to redo that real quick. Next up, we have our links module. So the links actually pull from on the left-hand side here. You can add custom links and useful links and resources to your site. So if I click either on Manage Links or the Links section here, it is going to allow me to add additional resource links onto our website. To do this really quickly, I just click Add a New Link. And I'll be able to enter the name of the link. So example, Google. The web address, so in that case, if I used Google, it'd be google.com. And description, I could type in a very powerful search engine. I can even add categories to links. So for example, this could be if you have links to property resource, maybe lending resources, buyer resources, seller resources, you could use different categories for those links. And additionally, add targeting to those links. So it's going to go back to our site pages. And you can even pick the specific category of links that you want to display and add a custom title. Our last section is going to be the featured videos section. You can change the title. And what's great about featured videos is, yes, it does have an opportunity to, again, go in and insert and edit this media to embed videos from YouTube or add media and upload your own videos. However, this is going to be a free edit section where you can add additional text and images that works the exact same as this welcome text option that we did in the earlier part. The main difference is going to be that the welcome text is going to showcase here at the top, whereas our featured videos is going to be showcased here. So anything I add in my featured video section is going to show in the lower portion of my website. However, everything here between adding the text, adding and inserting the video media or the photo media is going to operate the same as what I demoed earlier. Once I have my homepage updated and it looks to my liking, I just can scroll all the way down and hit publish again to save those changes. I can always then preview and view those changes by coming onto the website here. And again, I'm toggling back and forth between the tabs here. If you want to ever revisit the website, you just hit visit site in the top left corner, and that's going to take you to the live external view of your website. One thing I do want to go back and discuss a little bit further is going to be the featured properties module and how we can customize property list. So there's a couple ways, again, for us to access this. If I'm in my homepage settings, looking at my featured properties module, I can just select this option to create a properties list, or I can go into the tab that says property lists here. Once I'm in my property list, it's going to show me all property lists. As a default, you're going to see the active listings, your sold listings, featured properties, offices listings, my company's active listings, and my company's sold listings. But you can always click to add a new property list. This can incorporate a couple different lists as well. So some of them that aren't automatically included is going to be recently rented listings, offices open houses, offices recently rented listings, and so on. I can also then combine a couple different lists if I wanted to, and I could add my active listings, my sold listings, and my recently rented listings into one single list. However, since I'm not a realtor, nothing's going to pop up for me, so I'm going to change these to active listings, recently listed, and open houses. Before I save this as a new property list, I am going to give this a list name. So I'm going to just call this find property list and allow this to populate. One other thing I'll note is that you can add in specific property listings via an MLS number, and make sure that you certify that you have permission written from the listing or selling agent or is permitted by the rules of your MLS membership affiliation via the terms of use accessible here to add that listing. However, if you do add listings, do remember if you automatically add a listing, you do have to automatically maintain that listing. Otherwise, sold listings, active listings, though if an active listing goes to sold, it will transfer automatically for you if this is something that's already linked with your MLS. That is one really great perk and benefit of the Moxie website, is that that MLS connectivity that will automatically link with your listings. So once my list is pulled up here, one other thing I can do is go to this sort by option, and I can sort this list to showcase the price points, either high to low, low to high. I can showcase active to sold listings, sold to active listings, sort by the listed date, which is going to put the most recently listed listing up at the top, or the sold date, which is going to put the most recently sold listing up at the top. Once I am ready, I'm just going to select publish, and that's going to save this as a new property list. So once I know that I have my new custom property list here saved and I can see my new title here, I can go back to the homepage tab. So that tab on my left-hand bar here where I edit all of my homepage details. And if I scroll to the displayed featured properties, that new combined property list that I made, or whatever custom list that you just created, I can select and save that as my default list. The last bit that I'm going to be demoing here is going to be the steps for the final activation of your site. Once again, I'm going to go back to our home section. And beneath this section that says common tasks, you're going to see this area that says completing your site activation. There's two different tasks that we're going to be doing here. The first is going to be making your site visible to search engines. So to do that, I'm going to select Go There. As a default, your site is going to have this box checked, which is going to say discourage search engines from indexing this site. What we want to do is uncheck the checkbox and save those changes. So this is going to allow for search engines like Google to be able to index the site, which is how your site will pop up on those search engine results. Now, the final step we're going to do is going to be an optional step, but one that I do really recommend, which is going to be setting up a vanity domain. However, this does require an additional purchase through a domain registrar, which is a site like GoDaddy.com. So if I select Go There, I am going to be able to add in and map in my custom domain. And once again, we would have to purchase that separately through another site. So if I previously purchased a web, sorry, trying to go back. So if I all right, continuing on. So if I previously purchased a website domain, I can come to my site like GoDaddy and log in. To add my domain, I'm just going to type in my custom domain and whatever ending, whether that's .com, .net, .org, .realtor that I have purchased here. One thing I do want to keep in mind is I do not need the www, but I do need that tail end there. I do have the option to set this as my primary domain once it's verified, and I can check that box. Otherwise, I can just hit continue. The next screen is going to give me instructions on how I can map my new domain via the registrar service that I've purchased my domain through. So in my experience, I've used GoDaddy, but if you use a different one. So we do have instructions down here for GoDaddy, Google Domains, and Network Solutions. So you can pick and choose based on which registrar you've purchased your domain through. The main thing to focus on, and it's going to give you this kind of step-by-step, it's also going to send you this in an email to your Outlook email. But the main thing we do is just have to change these two values for both the DNS record types of the A and the C name. So that will make a little bit more sense when you click on the instructions here and go step by step through the process with the domain registrar. However, you can also reach out to your field marketing specialist and they can help you walk through this step of verifying and mapping your domain. But once you kind of change these two values on your domain registrar, you just click to verify. Please note that this can take up to 48 hours to verify. In my experience, it happens pretty quickly within a few minutes, but sometimes things do kind of shift and change. So do give it up to 48 hours before reaching out to tech support. In that case, if it takes longer, you might need to try again or get some additional assistance. And whenever you do change your domain name, what might happen is the site's security socket layer will fall off. What a security socket layer is basically what's attached to your website that makes it a secure site. So a lot of times if you change the primary domain and that domain name at the top, you will lose that site security. So you might see that your site is not secure. If that ever happens, you just want to come back to the home page and under the Common Tasks menu, there's this area to apply an SSL cert. So if I select that and hit go there, in my case, I have both of my check marks active. However, if you're seeing that not secure, there's most likely going to be an option that says go ahead and activate my SSL, a button that you can click, and then all you have to do is click that refresh your page and you should be good to go. Thanks so much for following along in our live demo session. Once again, if you do have any questions at all, you can book a next available appointment. This is going to be your go-to resource for expedited marketing support. Think of this as like your teledoc system. You can book a 20-minute next available appointment as soon as 2 business hours. You can receive virtual support for a dozen of core tools, including Moxie websites. To book a next available appointment, just go to nextavailableappointment.com or look for the next available appointment tile that's on the CB desk. You can also scan the QR code that's on your screen.